I have a personal relationship with God. Here's the thing, that does not prove the existence of a God. We need more than just personal anecdotes and feelings to believe in a claim. Just because you feel certain about something doesn't make it true for everyone. Imagine someone saying they love pineapple on pizza. Well, you may feel differently. Personal preferences are just that, personal. They're not universal truths. The same goes for people of faith. Just because someone feels a deep connection with a divine being doesn't automatically mean that being exists outside of their own mind. We need evidence that can be tested, observed, and replicated. Personal experiences are subjective and cannot be used as evidence for the existence of a deity. The human brain is fascinating. It's capable of incredible things, but they're also prone to some pretty wild tricks. When it comes to claims of personal experiences, science approaches them with a healthy dose of skepticism. Science relies on objective evidence and reproducibility. Personal anecdotes, while compelling, lack the rigorous proof that scientific methods demand. Meditation, prayer, even certain types of music can create a sense of euphoria and transcendence. And you know what else can create those feelings? Chemicals. Our brains are swimming in neurotransmitters, and some of them, like dopamine and serotonin, are responsible for feelings of pleasure and well-being. So that feeling of closeness to God, it might just be a rush of dopamine. Now, I'm not saying that personal experiences aren't real to the person feeling them. What I am saying is that personal experiences alone are not reliable proof of a theist's claim. Science requires more than just anecdotes. It demands objective, reproducible evidence. Humans have a built-in bias that makes us look for information that confirms our existing beliefs, while conveniently ignoring anything that contradicts them. This is called confirmation bias, and it's a major player in how we interpret the world around us. If you grow up believing in God, you're more likely to interpret events in your life as signs from above. A beautiful sunset? God's handiwork aced that test? Thank you, God, for answering my prayers. On the flip side, if you don't believe in God, you're more likely to find other explanations for those same events. Confirmation bias can lead us to see what we want to see, reinforcing our existing beliefs and sometimes leading to false conclusions. This is why personal experiences, influenced by confirmation bias, are not a valid basis for proving the existence of God. Let's say for a moment that we accept personal experiences as valid proof of God's existence. There's just one tiny problem. People from different religions and faiths have wildly different experiences. If personal experiences were enough to prove anything, wouldn't we all believe in the same God? We've got Christians who claim to have felt the presence of Jesus, Muslims who say they've heard the voice of Allah, and Hindus who report visions of Shiva. Each of these experiences is deeply meaningful to the person who had it, but they often contradict each other. If personal experiences were valid proof, then all conflicting faith claims would have to be true, which is impossible. This clash of personal experiences highlights a fundamental problem with using them as evidence. They're inherently subjective. What rings true for one person might sound completely bonkers to someone else, and there's no objective way to determine who's right. This is why we need objective evidence to support any claims about the existence of God. So, where does this leave us? Are we doomed to wander in a sea of subjective experiences, never knowing the truth about God's existence? Not necessarily. While personal feelings are important, they shouldn't be the sole basis for our beliefs, especially when it comes to something as significant as faith. Instead of blindly accepting personal experiences as proof, let's embrace critical thinking, open dialogue, and a healthy dose of skepticism. Let's ask tough questions, demand evidence, and be willing to change our minds when presented with new information. Remember, our beliefs have real-world consequences. They shape our values, our actions, and our interactions with others. If we're going to build a more just, compassionate, and equitable world, we need to ground our beliefs in something more than just how we feel. We need reason, we need evidence, and we need to be open to the possibility that we might be wrong. So the next time someone tells you their personal experience proves God's existence, don't just take their word for it. Ask questions, think critically, and remember, the truth is out there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Freethinker's Journey.